I'm a student that has to study 6 days a week and have to wake up at 7 o'clock every morning. Until one day, I woke up and it was 10 o'clock. And I was surprised because I've already missed 2 classes by then. So I rushed to the last period. And after the class ended, I made a promise to myself to not be late again. But I ended up being late that whole week. And the reason why is because I was really busy with moving houses with my parents. And I had to admit that it was really embarrassing because being late over and over, teachers and classmates would stare at you for being late and would make jokes too. And that made me wonder, what makes it so difficult for us to just get rid of our bad habits? Well, have you ever thought to yourself while you're laying or sitting down, what makes it so, have you ever thought to yourself while you're sitting or laying down, when tomorrow comes, I'll get rid of this bad habit. I'll wake up early, I'll go to bed early, I'll stop drinking, I'll go to school early. Yeah, me too. But I remember myself saying and thinking this countless times, but shows no progress. Well, everything is easier said than done. But getting words out is easy, but having to actually get rid of something that you've been doing for a long time isn't. But it's not impossible, because if you have enough ambition or clear goals as to why you're doing it, you'll be able to do it. And I could tell you so myself because at the start of 2022, I myself was also struggling with a lot of habits, and I was not in a good mental state and physical state. I struggled with a lot of things, and I was not aware of my habits or my surrounding or environments. And it was only until a few months that I've started to realize that how clueless I am of my future or how bad my habits are. So I stopped doing whatever I wanted and focused on what I have to do for myself and my future instead. I note to myself that I can't be this careless forever and life won't always be this easy. And I tried my best to do productive things and do things that are good for myself. I would be productive at home and at school and would try my best to be present and do things that are good for both my mental health and physical health. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't difficult either. Because as long as you remember that you're doing this for yourself and for your future, you'll be able to accomplish it. I focus on what's good for me and what I must do instead of what I need to do, what I want to do, and that helped me through it. So back to our question, what makes it so difficult for us to get rid of a bad habit? If you know that it's bad for you, why can't you stop? Well, according to researchers, scientists found that habit can arise through repetition. Doing something over and over repeatedly for a long time can cause it to become a habit. You can wake up, brush your teeth, wash your face, or even go to work and not realizing that it's affecting you deeply, and not until it's too late, until it takes a big role in your life or takes something from you, or it can stop you from accomplishing something in your future, or even harm your physical or mental health. And researchers also found that when behavior becomes automatic, it gives the brain advantage, as it does not need to use conscious thought to perform those activities, which means that when behavior becomes habits, you don't need to hesitate or think twice or make long decisions when doing something. That explains as to why smoker, drinker, drug user, even people in toxic relationships has a hard time quitting or leaving. When they try to leave or quit, their brain will give them intrusive thoughts like, what if I can't do it? What if I'm not myself without it? Or what if I fail? But they didn't sit down and take the time to think, what if I can do it? What if I can change my life for a whole lot better? People's heads are often filled with hesitation and negative thoughts when they are trying to change themselves or try something that's out of their bubble. That is why they try to make up excuse for their action or even tell themselves that it's okay the way they are, even though it's not. That's why people are unable to change themselves. Now, if we really want to get rid of our bad habits, there are many ways to do it. If the only thing you're lacking is motivation, you can take a step back and look at the people you love for motivation, like your parents, friends, siblings, or even your crush, or the people you see in the mirror. Tell yourself it's for them. And, well, according to a professor at Harvard, small steps and baby stroke can help in getting rid of a habit, especially if you're not in a rush. For example, if you always stay up late till midnight but you want to get up early for school, the reasonable progress to start with is 11:40, and then 11:35, and then 11:30. It builds success little by little and step by steps, and also helps you remember that urges can turn into a cycle. And in those waiting periods, it is also helpful to find a new sensation to be a helpful distraction. And it is also helpful that you remember that success is not a straight line. There will be bumps and setbacks on those roads. But remind yourself that it's okay and be gentle with yourself. Don't be critical of yourself. You wouldn't be critical of your friend making a mistake or doing something wrong, so give yourself the same treatment. It is also helpful to get rid of as many triggers as possible. For example, if you're always smoking when drinking, stop going to bars and clubs. If you're always excessively eating when going out, try to stay in as much as possible. And if your environment is the reason that your habits the way they are, change your environment. In other words, take the time to sit down and ask yourself questions like, what causes you to start those habits? What causes you to do it? How many times do you do it in a week? And what stops you from doing so? And after you got all the answers to this question, just remember that you're doing this for yourself, and you're the reason that this bad habit has to stop. Taking complete responsibility for yourself is to help you realize that you must do what you must do instead of whatever you want to do. You don't need to. If you want to change yourself for a whole lot better or get rid of something you no longer want to repeat, you don't need to set high expectations or have clear goals for yourself. Just set a system, yes? And by system, I mean setting out plans little by little, step by step, and asking yourself good questions on how you're going to do it. And many people have made many goals for themselves and their future, but they didn't take the time to sit down and write those plans out in detail. So when they try to accomplish those plans, when they try to accomplish those plans and they didn't meet their goals as fast as they expect themselves to, they get disappointed. And when they get disappointed, they give up and they walk away. That is why it's more efficient to set a system or start a process. Your great process helps you build your road to your goal. Start doing what you must do for yourself instead of just laying around, doing nothing, and asking yourself why nothing gets better. You have the chance to change yourself today, so do it now. Get on with it. Thank you.